find that in my area, in most suburban areas, in most areas, people go, I got to work real hard. I'm going to slave away so my kid can do whatever they want to do in life. And to an extent, I get this. You want to be able to fund your kids' dreams and create what you want to create for your kids. But I've found in my journey, in my life, that I've watched people, and I've watched multiple generations where that was the dad's mentality. I'm going to go to work, I'm going to slave away, I'm going to do my thing. I'm not going to chase my expressive dream, so I give my kids the hope and opportunity to go do more. Now, while you have the KDs of the world, right, the people who are like, my mom worked 2 jobs and went and played basketball professionally, majority of people I've found do this. They go and watch mom and dad slave away, do their job, and they think that's the way to do it because they're mimicking what they've watched somebody do. They watch them have these jobs and fight and battle with money and all these kind of things. What happens is they do what they've naturally seen. So what I found is in my journey, I said, you know what, I want to change that. I don't want to do something just to do it so my kids have money, so they can go to school, or they can eat, because I can find a way to feed them and take them to do what they want while also chasing a passion so my kids go, holy crap, that's actually possible. Like my kids have watched me on national television climb a wall on American Ninja Warrior. That is not something every kid can say they saw, but I in my heart of hearts believe because of that, my kids see things as possible outside of the norm. That I believe is how you give your kids a different perspective. You're going to get them to do what they want by showing you do what you want. So the idea is like show them how to live with passion, show them how to chase a dream. But the idea is you have to live in a space beyond what your current comfortable space is if you want your kids to. So the best way to love them in a way, in my opinion, to go chase a big, huge dream is to go and chase a big, huge dream. Let them watch you stumble and fall. My kids have watched me stumble and fall and do dumb stuff, but they've also seen me be on stages and share and teach and talk. And when I'm in public, they go, man, they see people walk up and go, hey, thanks for what you did. So that, I believe, puts a different seed in their heart. Number 2, do not rob your kids of their hardships. Repeating this one because you need to hear it. Do not rob your kids of their hardships. My kid, Tiz, he's the oldest son. His name's Anthony. We have a nickname of Tiz. Not going to tell you why it's his nickname, but there was a time back in middle school when he was getting picked on after school. And so he calls my wife, like, there's this kid picking on me. My wife gets in a car, shoots down, doesn't tell me, and she's out there yelling at this kid. And I go, what happened? She goes, well, this kid was, picking on him, so I wasn't going to let him, do it to my son, right? It's, right, mama bear. Totally get it. Totally get this. But here's what took place. She got down there. My kid never had the ability to manage this situation on his own. Now, I'm not saying that he should have been getting picked on, but I am saying I would have loved to have that conversation at home after the fact where that emotion sets into my son to talk about how do we navigate these moments, because that hardship was robbed from him. He didn't have the ability to build the muscle so that he could say the right thing, handle himself, avoid the situation properly because mom came and saved the day. Now, it's okay for you as a parent to save your kids, totally get that, but there's got to be a line, a demarcation line where you go, you know what? I'm going to let my kids struggle, especially if you have the means to support your kids so they don't struggle with finances or food or a house to stay in, right? If you have the basics and foundation, well, how are they going to have the grit to get past the hard parts of life later on if they don't develop that now in your tutelage? So you can't rob your kids of these hardships they have. So I told my son, this is a one maybe you agree with or don't. I am not a proponent of ever instigating a fight. My kids, I tell them, you do not ever put your hands on people in any way. However, if somebody puts their hands on you, you better defend yourself. You've got to, because if not, they'll do it again and again and again. So I said, if they touch you, physically touch you, you end it by taking care of this fight and the next 100 by going like a Tasmanian devil. You go crazy. I just don't hurt them in here, but you gotta handle yourself. So a couple days later, I'd had a conversation with my son about, look, if this kid gets your face, just leave, man, walk away. But if he touches you, you've been doing jujitsu, man. Jujitsu his face, whatever. And so next thing I know, I get a call 2 days later, and my son got in trouble because he went to the office because this kid was pushing him around, physically pushing him. So next thing you know, this kid's in a neck hold on the ground. And the teacher comes, gets him off, and I go to the school. I say, what took place? Tell him what happened. I said, to understand it, I'll have a talk with my son. We had that talk at Baskin Robbins. Now, the reason we had it at Baskin Robbins, because I'm like, great, son. Guess what? That kid never bothered him again. In fact, the kid ended up becoming a buddy later on, weirdly, because, well, now this kid had some level of, like, respect for my son. So the idea is you can't rob the kids of their hardship, because when they develop the skill sets to manage their life, now they get to this point of being the strong human being you want them to be. So don't take all the hardship away. Let them experience it, and then help them understand how to navigate it better next time. Number 3 of my list of things, have a family motto. I'm an identity guy, and a family motto is this: the Truxes. And I'm not even joking. We do this. It's just so serious. We're at like swim meets, my daughter, like football games, and say, hey, listen, Truxes don't just show up. Truxes show out. Truxes don't just show up. Truxes show out. All of us. No matter what, if I show up to a stage and I'm there and my family's not there, if I show up to do like little competitions, Spartan races, I'm not just going to show up. Now, the reason I have a motto is because I want my kids to understand who we are. Not what we do, who we are. We are people that work really hard, because if you're going to show up and show out, you better train outside of that. We take care of nutrition as a family. Like, what do we eat? What do we not eat? We train. I have a whole home gym. I used to own a gym. I create programs. My kids work out, not at a weird level. We enjoy it. Like, we have fun. We have that communication, that connection point. We celebrate each other when we're working out. It's not a driving into the ground. Like, it's actually joyful because we created that environment. But what happens is we know who we are. We show up, we do the best we can. When we show out, we don't do it in the stance of pushing other people down, but we elevate those around us. So if someone's doing better, we want to elevate our standards, right? It's all about a matter of, how do I show out? Showing out is doing the preparation, showing up doing the best you can, and then afterwards saying, how can I do better next time? And that's the big thing, because a lot of us, like, we don't have this anchor to our family of who we are. So when I go and talk about, hey, do you think you should get to bed early? Do you think you should eat that food? Like, hey, you should probably treat your sister better. Like, it sounds odd, but the connection there is, if I'm going to show out, I got to have it anchored back home where I know I have a base. Because my kids can't show out if they feel like the home life's messed up and they're not supported by their siblings. So we all go to things together, right? This whole show up mentality ties into who we are as Truxes. The simple model that carries weight. And so because kids know who they know what to do. So create a family motto. And it's, again, you may not even have kids right now. Create your own. Whatever you want it to be, create your own. I just know for us, we're a competitive family. We show up differently. So the idea is to roll in that direction.
Let's be who we are. Who am I? Who are you? Let's reignite the drive.